Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. If you made it this far, then you finished off 2022. So congratulations. Or maybe you're here, but you're actually already broke, in which case I'm sorry you didn't make it. But that aside, today is the final trading day of the year. So very excited to invite everyone up and kind of see how your year was in review. Were you profitable this year? What were some of your best trades? Let's try and keep all the responses short because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people wanting to share their stories in year-end review. So have at it, guys. Welcome.
Portfolio's down. In addition to the fact I lost a lot of money in options. No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah, my long positions obviously are all down because of the kind of year that we've had, and I've only started looking into options recently, so I haven't really done much with those. But I have dabbled a little bit, made a little bit, lost a little bit, pretty much even for the end of the year. But I've learned a hell of a lot from you guys, so thank you very much.
The top rich people in this world are kind of down 60% this year. So if you are on average down 60%, you are good. Okay, it's not you, it's the market. Okay, if you are more than 60%, then you should be kind of reassess your strategy.
My goodness.
I'm good
Did I actually
I'm
feel
only down
uplifted by
50%.
journalists? That's not right.
Yes, because I'm realistic. Always.
Thank you, journalist.
That's a big W for you, journalist.
How about you, Alexander? How's your year?
So my portfolio.
This is my first year doing options. I'm pretty much even at the end of the year. I actually made the most money to kind of balance that out through BBBY when it peaked at $23. I had shares and I had options as well, and that pretty much brought me back to making barely about 20% up. So that's that.
This is good to hear. Tuesday?
So I'm up 15K, but I'm gonna take a $7,000 loss today and probably dump some COSM just to get some cash in my portfolio to see if I can fuck around with Tesla. I jumped in last night at 122.66 after hours. I was in and out Tesla like 4 times, but I did send some cash to my account. COSM was my biggest play of the year. I was at 16K profit, but AMC and Ape still got me down 47,000. So yeah. But I do got a play for this morning, fellas. A little something out of my shit bag.
Yeah, let's hear it.
PALI. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, and I'm gonna keep an eye on, like I said, Tesla today. I hit nice on HOTH yesterday. I don't know if anybody else jumped in, but I got paid on that. Toot. And I'll keep my scanner running this morning while we're online. I'll let you know if I see anything else pop up.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the update.
Everybody have a blessed day. Good luck on this last day in hell.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the largest pre-market movers and trading the momentum, right? Is that your strategy? Or
that is because holding bags of shit was my last strategy, and it clearly didn't work out for me. So I did this strategy 2019 and 20 pretty heavy, and as well as 2012 and 13. And then I started making stupid fucking bag holds. But I'm at 5 days straight green days in a row. Yesterday, I caught myself with the Tesla bag, but I was only moving 40 shares because that shit's so damn expensive in regards to just moving money. I have money set up. I did buy more Ape yesterday, so I put another 4,000 back in Ape just to see if I can flip it.
Hey, can you tell us about PALI real quick?
Well, I don't know shit about the company, but I do know it popped up at 6. I seen it. It looks like it's a monster. It's moving.
Yeah,
so
I saw it go from $1 to like $6 now.
Yeah, I mean, Kala, I
Good
made that
case,
call
good
on Kala,
Very
KALA. I got in at like
dude. That one's like
13.
$40 right now.
Bro, I got in at 13. I think I got out like 30, somewhere around there. I played it in and out, and I just took my gains, man. Again, I'm done being these companies' bitch and holding their bag and letting them spend my money freely and giving all their corporate execs raises on our money, you know? So,
You just said you bought 8.
I mean, I did to flip it. I'm stuck in ape. So, you know, I mean, we can go back and forth, but my bag is so big in ape. I'm just trying to take, you know, I'm gonna short it day by day, just get in and get out and just try to make gains. I hate seeing red numbers, you know? So like I said, I'm 5 days straight green in a row. I'm trying to finish today in the green. If I can dump my Tesla, I'm down like $100 on that, something like that. But, you know, it's part of the game.
Yeah, when is journalist coming on? That's why I hopped on here. I'm wondering when he's coming on to do his little talk.
Yeah, I came for the Ryanair due diligence.
Yes,
Go
I'm
on the
just
chat.
waiting. I'm just waiting the audience to reach 700. I don't talk to just 600 because I, on my own, on the private side, I have like 400. So I'm just waiting 80 more people up, and I will start the due diligence.
All right.
Bro, this can't be real, man.
You can't be serious.
Was there?
Journalist, what metrics do you use to determine the number that you're willing to speak to?
Well, I would not like to just start on Q&A, you know, because that would break the whole session. Once I go through it, probably you will see what numbers, and then your Q&As, your questions would make more sense, right? Because now it's just asking, hey, journalist, what's the color of Ryanair logo? You know, that's not a proper due diligence. So let's keep the level up, okay?
He was
Please.
asking
Journalist,
the question of how you
what is the
arrive at the
color
question
of
of
the
listener,
logo?
Bro,
at the number of listeners, not the number of ratios or financial figures that you pay attention to.
Should we start opinion? Though it's 6:30, a bit
let-
disappointing. I thought you had a bigger audience, but I'm okay
We need
with.
to wait. We need to wait clearly
Hold on,
for
hold on.
700.
Did anyone else have stories they wanted to share about their trading year, or you know, things they learned, trades they made, things they want to do better next year?
So earlier this year, I put a play on health equity. The reason for that play was because the Russell 2000 was rebalancing, and the rules for rebalancing are published and known. So sometime late May into June, you can front run the rebalancing and make some decent tendies. What was unique about health equity is that it was more than 100% institution owned. Someone said I'm a bit quiet. Hang on a second.
All right. Am I louder now?
Better.
Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Much better.
So earlier this year, I put out a play on health equity. Was because, and the thesis behind it was because the Russell 2000 was rebalancing. And what that means is the rules of rebalancing for the Russell 2000 ETF are known, and therefore you can, in some instances, front run the institutions who are managing the ETFs in order to turn a profit. What was unique about health equity at the time is that it was 100%, 105% institutional owned. And most importantly, it outperformed the Russell 2000, which means when it came time for rebalancing, a lot of institutions would be forced to sell because of the ETF rebalancing rules. And so congratulations to everyone who hopped into that play. I think it turned out to be like a 2.5, 3-bagger on easily tens of thousands of contracts sold. So with the Russell rebalancing coming up for 2023, I'm looking forward to see if lightning can strike twice.
Well, fingers crossed for you and your lightning. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I remember you calling out that ticker and talking about that, but Were you like suggesting to play it on the short side, or do you remember any more details about the trade? Because I
It was
think I tried to mirror that, and I ended up scalping a little bit and being profitable, but it moved against me if I had held on to it.
it was medium-term puts, and for those who held into like mid-June, the price came down as expected, just 2 weeks late, or 2 weeks not late, 2 weeks after the rebalancing date.
What's up, guys?
Wait,
No. How's it
My
going?
Waiting
portfolio
for-
is surprisingly loose.
Yo, my main account got suspended again, so I'm here as Nemo's dad. Hey, I got a potential deep value play, and I don't throw those words around lightly. Do
This
you want it?
this is not going to go well. I feel it.
What?
I'm ready. No, I'm ready for you. By all
You
means,
don't trust me?
give it to me.
Have you seen my son?
Oh, you great. Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Okay, I'll give you the what?
Did you come here because you knew
Hey,
that
fuck
today
you,
it was
journalist.
my day?
Fuck you,
Today
dude.
it was my
Hey,
day. I have
Opinion,
to share
make
my
me-
due diligence. Why the hell?
Not even
Opinion, make me
Journalists, everyone want to hear.
We have established opinion that Luce is not journalist now, just so that we're clear.
What the fuck? Opinion, give me host, dude. All right, so here's the yes, thank you. Okay, here's my DD. All right.
Louis might be schizophrenic though.
All right. Ticker is AE. It's Adams Resources and Energy. They're a midstream company. And before anybody fucking goes super retarded, there are no options. Okay, there are no options. But it's a very small company. Beware the pump and dump. It's very low volume. But I won't talk about a stock unless the valuation makes sense. Basically, most of the time. So it's an midstream energy company. They do marketing, transportation, storage of oil, a little bit of liquid gases. They just repurchased 44% of all their outstanding common shares. And the stock price went up about like 22%, which doesn't make a lot of sense. The valuation, it should have gone a lot higher because they almost doubled the value of the ownership of the shareholders.
Did they use debt to buy back the shares, Luce?
Mostly cash. Yeah, mostly cash. So
because the percentage of debt would be my first instinct if it only went up 22%.
It's a low volume stock. It's very small. So like it's not on anybody's radar is what I'm assuming. So the issue that this company has had for a while is well, really it's too small. So this hasn't traded like favorably in a while. It did have a nice uptick through COVID, but the value is still really, really low, and it's lower than it has been in a long time because of share repurchases. And by the way, Hardy, I don't look at just market cap. I look at enterprise value. So the valuation would have adjusted based on the use of debt and the deduction in cash. So considering those things, the valuation is still a lot better than it was before. So they made some recent acquisitions. The owners, the shareholder that they repurchased the shares from were the founders, and they seem kind of content with just sitting on sustained earnings over the long term. You can check ROIC.ai. Again, the ticker's AE. But you could look at the long-term financials, and cash flow was just kind of sustained for a while. And even coming out of COVID, they didn't really like try to grow the business. But the founders were just bought out, and what coincided with that were the acquisitions. So I think current management is now has an appetite for growth, and that's shown in the free cash flow over the past 12 months. So the acquisitions they made are already accretive. For those who don't know that word, have never been in finance, accretive just means that they're already making money on those acquisitions. They just completed them in August. So a few valuation figures for you. Well, first I'll just go over it. Leverage. It's forward leverage is 0.9 times debt to EBITDA. That should be around 1 times debt to EBITDA. So that's really freaking good for a company this small. A lot of companies that people have been talking about have like 2, 3, even 5 times debt to EBITDA in the midstream space.
This company is valued at $94 million.
This is
Yeah.
Adams Resource Energy, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Adams Resource and Energy. Free cash flow yield forward. I'm looking at the estimates are going to be weird, but I'm looking at anything ranging from 50% to about 170% free cash flow yield. In other words, you're looking at a PE ranging. You can compare it to PE because I know everybody favors PE. You can compare it to a PE of like 0.2 to 2, which is ridiculous. Forward PE. Enterprise value, forward enterprise value is about 27 million, based on we'll call it low mid range of free cash flow yield. Right now, the price to book is 0.6 times. They do have that about 1 times debt to EBITDA leverage. They pay a 2.5% dividend yield, and their trailing 12-month free cash flow yield was 50%. So there's that comparative 2 times PE for you. So I would say the risks for this are the highest risk is oil price sensitivity is obvious, which should be obvious. But the company was still able to make decent money compared to the market cap. We're talking teens, millions of dollars compared to a market cap of like 40, which is ridiculous. Recession's an obvious risk. I would say that's about moderate, simply because the severity of the recession is expected to be mild, while consumer travel expected to hold up relatively well, especially when compared to suppressed demand through COVID. Management risk, I think it's worth looking at, especially because of past oil and gas plays. I would say in this case, it's pretty low given the history of positive free cash flow, and their book value has grown substantially over the long term while they've maintained a dividend since 1994. So I think management, even if they make a bad acquisition or two going forward, it's evidence that they're prioritizing shareholder returns, because they spent $70 million on share buybacks versus $40 million on the acquisitions. And those happened around the same time over the past several months. And that 2.5% dividend yield is nice as well. So I'd say management's okay. And then low liquidity, I'd say that's pretty moderate risk. The stock is very illiquid. So position entry exit is going to be tricky if you're making large orders, but most of you are poor, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. But yeah, you can minimize risk by dollar cost averaging and just doing a long-term hold, because if this is true, if the company continues to grow, management turns out to be all right, then you won't have to worry about liquidity being too awful. So that's my play. It's AE, Adams Resources and Energy, potential deep value play, trading oil and gas midstream play, trading at 0.6 price to book value with at least a 50% expected free cash flow yield for next year.
What's the revenue growth projection?
Is that journalist?
Yes, it's the value investor.
Revenue doesn't matter.
Value
gas,
investor
midstream.
here. Yeah, I'm value investor here talking. What's the revenue growth projection?
Revenue doesn't matter. This is oil and gas midstream.
It's
all about margins.
What's the net? Okay, then what's the net margin? What's the net margin average last 5 years?
I don't look it up. ROIC.ai.
Holy shit!
I have an important.
Holy shit! You're far from being my lose. My lose was a big value investor, mate.
What the fuck? Why did y'all let this guy back on? I thought y'all banned him.
Boo.
I tried to save him. Y'all put him back on.
You stabbed me, mate. You betrayed me. You betrayed me.
You betrayed yourself. You
retard. This is a sitcom.
Luz, you got a price target or a term you're gonna hold this for?
This is a DFV style play. I'd like it to go. I could see it going 2-3 times if the oil market persists. I think oil prices will sustain around this level, or we'll say around the range that it's been at for the past couple months. So what we looked at like high 60s, right? Just recently. Oh no, we barely got there. Okay, we touched 70. So I think this range makes a lot of sense given a mild recession. If you think we're gonna have a deep recession, then maybe we'll get some problems. But I think it's gonna be mild. So if oil prices remain at around this range, then another 2 quarters, this company is making their entire freaking market cap in free cash flow. So I think it could double easy 2-3 times. But this is, to me, this is a yield play. So this is, if I said I was going to sell you a bond that was well capitalized and it had a 50% yield, you would buy it. You know what I mean? So like you wouldn't think about the price, right? You would think that's a damn good return. That's a damn good yield on my investment. So that's the way I look at stocks like these.
I have an important question.
Question for you. So the oil prices were going up over the course of the year, but their stock price was going down until fairly recently, which I think would coincide with their share repurchase in November. Is that right? Is that what shot it up?
Wait, if I don't know what chart you're looking at, but if you look from COVID, it's been a long-term like trend up. So the low was $15 and now it's at 39. It's been volatile for
Right.
sure, but
It's a
long-term it's
Houston
up.
company, so that's good enough for me.
Question actually about that. So it appears of the 250 tractors and 500 some odd trailers they have alongside the rest of their transportation network, it appears to be only in the Gulf area. So think like maybe from, I don't know,
No, they're
Houston to to
they're all
New
across the
Orleans.
US.
They're nationwide?
Yeah, nationwide. So they're
Well,
in the south,
delivering
the
what?
east, they just expanded into
Areas of
northeast. They're in
operation.
Ohio.
So I'm on their website now, gulfmarkenergy.com. They have Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coasts, and then Texas, I guess deep Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, North Dakota, Ohio, and Michigan. That's their coverage. And to be clear, this is just the transportation network.
Oh. All right. Yeah, they do marketing, transportation, storage. So I'm talking about the whole company. Like they have exposure to the whole
I
nation.
understand. I'm just trying to vet the
Transportation's,
whole
yeah, that's fine.
nationwide part.
Sounds pretty stable with the dividend holding that long, 28 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, some of y'all, pump it up. If you think it is, but this is an actual like deep value play, the way I see it. So
why'd your main account get banned this time?
I called somebody gay.
Thank you.
In text?
I meant it in
Now,
an
if I
endearing
may,
way.
I got a real good play, at least in the near future. It's a play on Shell. Funnily enough, looking at the statistics, kind of surface level though, the PE at the moment is between 5.1. Funnily enough, though, the EPS, on the other hand, is at 11, while their profit margins are 11%, 12%. So, given that this company has a good profit margin compared to other companies in its sector, also the market's valued it quite low. On the other hand, they're projected to beat earnings next quarter. Now the problem is, it's kind of risky because again, net gas prices and oil prices are estimated to I think fall about like 10%, 5 to 10% in the next quarter. So if you're not willing to take the risk, what I propose, wait another 4 months until those prices have consolidated. So until the bottom is in. Of course, you can't perfectly time the market logically, but just saying, at least wait a couple of months. And again, Shell will probably at least slightly fall. I estimate about 2-3%. But afterwards, once nat gas and oil prices have consolidated, just buying Shell is free buy again. At the moment, having a PE of 5 in the oil and gas industry. I mean, Exxon, on the other hand, has I think a PE of 11. So it's, even though they're quite comparable from the numbers, I mean, even the profit margins are quite comparable. I think Shell is even beating them regarding like looking at the profit margins. Also, the quarterly revenue growth is at 60%. So I'm just saying, we have a very liquid company, a company in the same sector as Exxon, for example. We can estimate that the price per share will drop logically due to estimated fall of the prices for nat gas and oil. But the good thing about those is, as I said, once the price is consolidated, I think it's a free buy. Honestly, it's buy the dip, faggots, so to say. But other than that, low PE, great EPS, great profit margins, solid growth in the revenue. oil and gas will come back, especially once China has resolved the issues with the COVID outbreak. And I can see that Shell or any other oil and gas company, especially Shell, given their low P, will be a great buy, at least for the next couple of years or next couple of months, as I said, once the bottom is in. And I think it's free money, honestly.
I'm looking at the latest 10Q. 3 months ended September 30, showing 852 million in revenue against 849 million in expenses. So 2.9 million, let's call it 3, against 800. So what is that? Like 1.6, 1.7% gross margin? Am I missing something here? Is that still higher than competitors?
Looking at the latest numbers, I've looked at them as well. To be honest, those were kind of disappointing compared to the other quarters for this year. I can see that those numbers will probably have to do with lowering price, like this downtrend for prices in nat gas and oil. I wouldn't attribute this per se to the company. So as I said, this is why I personally wait at least a couple of months because, as you just said, those, especially oil and gas, will suffer from a drop in nat gas prices and oil prices. Therefore, as you said, just wait a couple of months, and I can see Shell beating the numbers again, while also having still a very low estimation of the markets. To me, it's basically just an undervalued blue chip stock, So just to remind you guys, 5 PE on a oil and gas company compared to Exxon's 12 PE, whereas those companies are quite comparable. Just saying, to me, it looks like a very cheap buy.
I also want to point out, looking at their income statement, that marketing makes up the majority of their revenue. So this appears to be a marketing company that with $800 million in marketing revenue against $30 million in transportation revenue. So it's a marketing company that happens to move oil. It does not necessarily appear to be, let's say, an exploration and refining company the way ExxonMobil is. So just something to point out for comparison's sake.
True that.
All right.
Of course, to be honest, they usually work together with Exxon when it comes to exploration and production. So it's kind of convoluted, but there's, at least how I understand, there's definitely some revenue stream coming in from those exploration production projects, but less so, as you just said, via marketing.
I've been told that apparently journalists, you need to check your flare.
Yeah, journalists. There's over 700 people now. Let's go.
Hey,
Oh,
what's that second ticker, journalist?
Hi, everyone. Again, let me talk before you jump into Q&As, right?
All right, enough of that shit. Just talk. Don't play any fucking music.
So let's go for the first ticker. As I mentioned yesterday, it's Ryanair. Okay, I was surprised you people in the US don't reckon this airline company because this is the leading
What's the
airline.
revenue in that company, journalist?
Why don't you shut the fuck
What
up
are the
and
net
listen?
margins?
Shut the fuck up
What are the
and
net
listen.
margins?
I will go
Hey,
through the margins. Oh,
are you
believe
allowed
me.
to trade? Aren't you
Yeah,
a woman now?
I've got the last 10 years
Women can't
margin.
trade.
Okay. Just
I've
please
got all
relax.
these numbers in front of me because I'm a value investor, not like you, Luz.
All right.
All right.
What's it like being a paper trader?
You people, what do you mean?
Also, if I may add, Shell has a dividend yield of 3.5%. So
Yeah, no one cares. Let me talk. No one cares. Let me talk.
Shut the fuck
All right.
up, journalist.
So, Ryanair. I'm sorry.
Are you fucking
So,
dying?
for those of you who don't know Ryanair, which I mean we all do, it's the Spirit Airlines of Europe.
Okay, yeah, maybe they can then relate it. So this is basically the leading airline by passenger number in Europe. Okay, so it provides a low cost and let's say short intra-European routes. Yeah. Basically, it's the best option for people like Simple Vice, broke Eastern Mediterranean European broke guy who has lost all his money following Hardy's Gamma and Delta pseudo financial advice. Okay, so basically, we in Europe, we enjoy a lot traveling, very cheap. We can cross countries within 50 to 100 euros range. Okay, why this is better than any legacy network airline? Basically because these legacy network airline face a prolonged recovery due to their dependence on larger, let's say, routes internationally and premium class travel. Okay, this is post COVID world, people. So the premium class travel never ever will be kind of same as it was pre-COVID. So let's go through some numbers, right? Because I do check revenue margins. I do check everything. Okay, I don't just pump
Revenue
and dump.
margins. That's not a thing, you twat.
Okay, so the way you analyze an airline, you need to be realistic, right? So currently, the seat capacity is set to surpass pre-pandemic mark by the first quarter of 2024. Okay, this is the most important and let's say the key driver that you should pay attention to. Okay.
How much time do you have, though? That's what I want to know. How much time do you have for today?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like fucking 20 minutes that you've been talking now, and like barely anyone gets like 2 minutes to speak themselves.
That other guy needs to fix his Happy Meal mic, first of all, dude.
Okay, so annualized growth of Ryanair pre-COVID was close to 9%, okay? Where your DRS Southwest was close to 3.5%, because the US is already kind of saturated market, very competitive. Regarding margins, Ryanair basically sits on the high teens pre-COVID, where your US airlines is in the low teens, okay? Meaning that, for example, Ryanair would have, let's say, 15% of gross margins, okay, on average, and the net margin was above 10%, okay, on average. You always need to pay attention to the net margin. That's what it comes back to your pocket as shareholder. Hey, lose. So pay attention to net margins, please.
Hey, journalist, you're fucking retard. It's cash flow that goes back to the investor, not net margin. You want to talk valuation? You fucking punk. Hey, Simple's here.
Yeah. I actually wanted
No, shut
to
the
ask.
fuck up. Honestly, let him talk. Shut the fuck up.
A simple, please.
I actually wanted to ask.
And
Go
now
ahead.
we'll enter the Q&A period.
What's going
No,
on? Yeah, go
Can
ahead.
we get a-
No.
an
Wait.
explanation? What's the difference
Wait.
between net margin versus cash flow? That's a
Look,
nice
man,
little
journalists
educational
never
piece.
gave us that second ticker, man. Fucking kick him out.
Serious
Hey,
shit,
Charlotte,
man.
what happened to your BBBY bags?
Okay, so can I continue, please? So
Okay, you
why?
have 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So basically pay attention to Ryanair market share, okay? In Italy, it's basically 40%, is the number one. In the UK, it has 22% of market share, where British Airways, which was, always the leading airline group in the UK, is number 3. Holy shit. In Ireland, for example, it's 56%. So I'm talking about a very relevant airline company. This is a recovery buy, meaning that you buy now in the dip, in the $74, I think it's trading now, and you let it go when it arrives close to 120. Okay, that's the fair value back to its mean. Okay, so it's basically buy now, close your eyes, shut the fuck up. Don't listen to lose, otherwise you will lose money, as it's the nickname lose. Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is the bet. Q&As, please. Open. The session is open, people.
Hey, journalist, why are you a fucking retard? That's my first question.
Why you are homophobic? That's my second question.
Wait.
Okay, lose.
Say women couldn't trade.
Let's talk. lose loads at all. Okay, journalist. My actually first question is, in what way do you think, sorry, that the other airlines in Europe can hold against Ryanair? Because we've got to, well, recognize that Lufthansa or similar bigger airlines might have an edge over Ryanair in the long term.
No way. That particular airline and any other big airline you might name it now has been rescued at least once. Ryanair is the only fucking company in Europe that didn't require a bailout from the government. That speaks to the management of this company. This is the best ever run airline company. Okay.
So you're arguing with
So a quick
low
question.
cost structure, basically.
A quick
So
question
you're
about
arguing with the low
material
cost
risk.
structure, basically.
Say again.
So you're arguing with that the low cost structure will always guarantee them some sort of survivability.
No, it's not because if you pay attention to the European low cost airline market, basically, it didn't work for any of these companies. The Wizz Air was acquired, and you have a lot of other companies small that were acquired, or they basically shut down. The only company, because it's because of its business model, the way they use the leasing model for aircrafts. In that sense, Ryanair is basically a big case study that people like me, we do study Ryanair in business school because it's a unique management kind of a case that we study. Not like Lewis, he just opens whatever bullshit comes to his hand and then throw his pump and dump here.
Brilliant burn. Brilliant burn.
We gave this guy like
quick
10
question.
minutes to talk,
So,
even though
hold on,
everybody
hold on.
hates
Serious
it.
shit.
Ryanair.
All right, hold on. Journalist, I'm gonna ask a question. Hardy's gonna ask a question, and then this Nemo Fish is gonna ask a question, and then we'll move on. So my question is, echoing everyone in the comments, what the heck is the second stock? Just the ticker.
Can a poor also ask a question? Because
Okay,
I'm
sure.
poor, I always drive with Ryanair.
I told you, this is how I opened the DD, saying that a broke guy like Simplewise.
So my question is, what is the second ticker?
But this is kind of disrespectful.
He doesn't have a
opinion,
second ticker,
because
man.
I
Just
do.
fucking kick him out.
So my question was, what is the second ticker?
Okay, I can advance to the sector, not the ticker, because the due diligence.
Oh fuck!
What is the second ticker, journalist?
Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Tell us
What is the
You
second
promised
ticker,
us the second ticker yesterday.
What is
Give
this?
us the
Boo
freaking
this
second
man.
ticker.
Right?
Boo.
I'm being bullied. I'm just talking. We're talking about Ryanair. Can we pay attention to Ryanair and then we move to the second?
Hey,
Okay,
journalist,
so
can I ask
this
a
is what
question?
Call a pump and dump.
Right.
Hardy, I have a
Wrong.
question. I have a question for journalists regarding
No,
Ryanair.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
Simple.
me too.
It turns out we all got scammed. There is no second ticker.
Okay,
but
there
about
is a
Ryanair.
second ticker. All right, there is a
But
second
about
ticker.
Ryanair, wait. Just
Yeah.
about Ryanair.
Yeah.
So I have a friend that works in management in Ryanair actually,
Yeah.
and he said that the biggest issue that they're having is with unionization and strikes, which
Yeah.
led to the huge cost of staff that they had over the last 2 years. How does that play into your buying of a stock?
This is I don't pay attention to the union because this was an obvious thing that should have happened actually start of this year,
but
and it's
the
because
only one.
inflation.
No, but they're the only one that have this problem.
No, a lot of airlines have this problem. The only issue is that with Ryanair, the way they run everyone knows that Ryanair is not the best payer, okay? And people complain, the sector is against them. But this is what it is, whatever, if this impacts in their salary cost, this will be translated into, a bit higher kind of cost per travel for you. But as any other airline company, basically, if you compare current prices with 2019, it's very, very high. And that's the inflationary pressure that you see.
I really don't see the difference in the ticket prices.
All right.
I have a
We
question.
don't have any more time for this, so 10 seconds for each question and answer. Journalist, what's the ticker?
SABR.
SABR. Okay, excellent. Hardy, do you have a question that you can quickly ask?
Yes, you mentioned, journalists, that Ryanair has the largest market shares in certain markets. Planes require kerosene, or JP1, which is aviation fuel, that's derived from oil. What is Ryanair's sensitivity to the increasingly fragile European energy market, and what protections do they have to prevent having to overpay for their energy costs or their, well, aviation fuel costs?
They were the most profitable airline in Q3. You know why? Because they were the first and the only one hedging this risk. Okay, so they do have a hedging, a proper hedging risk management. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. And you, Hardy, you always trying to be like the smartest guy in the room.
Okay, don't waste time. Don't waste time. Okay, I have a question. How is there's kind of two parts. The European Union is really pushing for a cross connectivity of their train system. How is that going to impact Ryanair? Followed by a lot of countries in the EU are limiting the number of flights, the range that the flights can be at a minimum, right? They can't be less than X number of kilometers, which will significantly impact Ryanair. How are they going to combat that?
Yeah, only a slave like you would obey to the government rule, meaning that you would not take a flight just.
Journalist. France is banned short haul flights, and they put them on the train.
Yeah, but in country, Ryanair is countries to countries flights, so I don't think it's going to affect them that much.
Yeah, it's a stupid question. Let's level up the Q&A, please.
Okay, last question for this topic is coming from the fish. Nemo, do you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, important question here. Are you in Ryanair because you're too poor to afford real plane tickets and real flights?
Ouch.
I'm opinion. Can I have next Tuesday 15 minutes?
And that's all the time we have for today.
The next.
Let's move on.
Is anybody playing the PMI news? To the downside.
He had the other ticker. He had Sabre Corporation. What did you kick?
All right. No, so what was that about PMI?
Is anybody playing the PMI that if it comes in even lower than it did last month? I mean, it missed last month by 10. I'm just curious, does anybody follow that?
It's the Chicago Fed, so relative nothing burger unless it's like more than 20% in either direction away from expected.
Yeah, so if it's down in like the low 30s, so forecasted at 40, you think if it comes in low 30s, you don't think that moves it?
It will move the market, but how do you expect to profit how do I put this? How do you expect to profit if the news is already out and everyone else knows about it? You're basically gambling. In order for your gamble to work for any long options on this news, you need to see at least a 20% move, I would think, in either direction on the PMI away from expected. So if you think that's true, buy a strangle. If you don't, maybe you could sell the strangle and make a little bit of theta. Or IV crush, but IV isn't that elevated anyway.
Excellent. Thank you, Hardy.
So markets moved pretty aggressively yesterday. Anyone else think it was basically just like short covering?
I can definitely see a short covering, given that we've got solid jobless claims, and I suppose market has also reacted to that, while most of the shorts were covering in fear or in anticipation of the other markets participants trying to buy in.
I think the question we all are asking ourselves is, where is the Santa rally?
There was never a Santa rally.
So I warned about this
Didn't that
earlier.
happen yesterday?
The problem with the Santa rally thesis is that SPY is down year over year, which basically means a lot of companies are losing money, or rather their stock prices have gone down, causing investors to lose money. And there's this tax loss harvesting strategy in the US that allows investors to use to close losing positions in order to offset profits in closed winning positions and then rebuy them at least 30 days later. And I think that's what we saw throughout December. So we had a lot of turbulence between the Santa Claus rally that a lot of people were expecting versus the tax loss harvesting that was going on. And well, harder to make money in that environment.
The Grinch kicked Santa's ass this year. That's what happened.
Guess we're just gonna have to hope for Christmas in July.
I mean, personally, so I had several very large bags from the year, and so what I did was sell them a couple of days ago and jumped in pretty headlong on Tesla. But my intention is to sell out of my Tesla and get back into my long positions that I'd had prior to that. I could imagine other people taking that stance, and I was sort of, yeah, maybe anticipating a bit of a Santa rally to give me an exit position for those large bags, but I ended up selling them on a down day and then just picking up something that I thought would have large upside if there was a sort of a short covering or late Santa rally effect. So I could see this happening on a larger scale, to Hardy's point.
Hey, what do you guys think of Zim? ZIM? The yield's like 100.
I miss the good old days when Sim was $70 a share.
Yeah, Zim, you got to be forward looking with that one. So they're going to adjust the dividend and or at least dollar amount. So it's going to be a percentage of this upcoming year's earnings, which are going to be like a small fraction of what they were. So the current yield is historical. It's not going to be that because spot rates have plummeted.
I understand that it's not going to be like the $22 dividends we were seeing, but I still think they can still provide a good yield on their shares at the current price. Because I got the last dividend, it was $2, and I paid. You can buy the shares for $18 right now, so it's a pretty good yield.
Hey, I have a DGen play for you guys all. I jumped in, was watching DRMA in pre-market yesterday. They had some abnormal activity, and so I jumped in, and it's up like
Dude, why the pump and dumps?
No, my thesis is during this last week and this
It's
last
gonna pump
trading
and
day
you'll dump. Look at
is
the chart.
with all the market makers that are on vacation and like out of the game right now. I believe the Chinese money is raping our market, and I'm noticing a trend yearly around the last week of the year where these pharmaceutical companies get these just weird pump and dumps, and it's always at this same time. And my conclusion is it's because the ones that can really control the market are on vacation right now. And so I believe Chinese money is basically taking advantage of that, and they do it on a yearly basis with these pharmaceutical bullshit companies.
Opinion. We're gonna have words.
Oh dear.
At 8:30. Why did you get no? We'll wait for plays, but why is journalist back? Well, we'll wait for that.
Is quality entertainment. And by the way, just to
you let
address,
too many monsters.
He's too funny to be left out, bro. What do you mean?
Too much of a monster.
Is this WallStreetBets or is this Jerry Springer?
He's on vacation. He's on vacation from Ryan Airlines. Leave him alone.
Good
All
point,
right.
Reed.
By the way, is he
Um,
banned at the moment, or is he just kicked off?
he's on a short lease. He's on house arrest basically. But look, let's move away from. We've
Yeah,
given
yeah.
up an airtime. I did want to shout out the fact that Reddit is making these talks harder and harder to find. So in our Discord, we created a special role that if you type /notifications and click on podcasts or talks, then you'll get notified every single time there's a talk. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out.
Let me just tell you this, guys. It's real easy if you're on mobile or an app. All you have to do is go to your chat, and in chat, pick all. Or it's already, on your chat, pick all. Pick live first, and then go down to see what's happening now. So there's 4 different things in chat: all, live, messages, and requests. You pick the live version, and you go down to see what's happening now. You see every single chat happening on Reddit right now. ones that are recommended for you and other ones that are for everybody. So if you ever want to find one of the chats for Confused Money or Wall Street Bets, just go to there. Those 3 steps. It's real simple.
Yeah, just click 20 times and you got it. Or sign up for notifications through Discord.
Hey, is simple in the chat or no?
Looks like no, but maybe we can get back to plays.
All right, I got another
Yeah,
one. Mesa, MESA, Mesa Airlines, the Latin American focus, and they used to have a contract with American Airlines and United Airways, but now they're only with United. They have historically traded at not the best value, but their market cap has essentially plummeted over the past, we'll call it almost 2 years, and now they're trading at a price to tangible book value of 0.16. So that's tangible. So I'm picking up shares. This is this is another classic. If it's a deep value stock, you're just holding it because it's so damn dirt cheap, and you're just waiting until something happens. So I'm not loading up on shares, but I do have some.
How far off is the ratio for full book value? Just trying to understand the intangible impact.
Wait, what do you mean? It's 0.16.
Right. The non-tangible book value is 0.16.
Oh, it's
right?
about the same. It's about the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, really easy potential deep value play there. I'm just picking up a few shares because I have no idea if there will be a catalyst in the near term. They did just have earnings. The stock price went up like 14%, but I think it's come back down. Okay, yeah, it did come right back down. So earnings were okay, sales were down a bit, but it's still trading at a ridiculously low value.
I think they missed revenue and EPS targets.
Yeah, I think it was revenue, but forecast was okay. I mean, it's going to take a long time to erode, 84% of their book value. So,
if anybody else needs another example of biopharma companies that go crazy on low shares, BXRX from 30 cents to $3 in the past few, I want to say over the last 3 weeks, doubled yesterday. It's another shit company, 238,000 in revenue for the quarter. Lost a lot of money, but for some reason these things go crazy this time of year. Notes is right. So, but play them with caution.
Hey, helicopter! Did your coworker stay in that Kayla? You think, or
she has one? She kept one share. She sold 4. She bought them for 20, sold 4 for 30. Still has 1 share left, and it's went up to 36 this morning.
Oh, she'll be happy.
Kayla is still running. Oh my God.
Yes, it is.
What the actual fuck?
1.2 million shares. People think it's a thing when they don't realize there's no revenue coming into it.
At what point do you go balls deep and short this?
When it hits 2,000 a share, like HKD.
Better, yeah.
Wait, didn't those stocks that were being pumped, those Chinese stocks or whatever that were being pumped, weren't people being prevented from transacting when they were already holding shares? Didn't that just happen some months ago?
I'm not aware of it.
Did anybody here buy those shares? Because I remember reading that or hearing that people couldn't sell their shares, and then the stock price just plummeted. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me if you remember this.
What stock, Lewis?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Like HKD or whatever, like those Chinese stocks that were being
HKD and
manipulated.
ATMD was its little brother that didn't quite moon as much as HKD did. But yeah, they just pumped, and then 2 days later they were back down to the bottom, and no one cared about them anymore.
Hey, you don't say that.
Yeah, dude, they went from like a couple of dollars to like $1,200 a share.
HKD went up to like 2,000. ATMD, I think, got up to like 300. and then after that, they just went way back down.
25.55 is the high for HKD.
Hey guys, I wanted to share an experience that I had with in the advertising sector. Right now I'm like I manage a lot of the paid advertising for the company that I work for, and especially in Q4, the Reddit people or the Reddit account executives have been going after me to run a pilot. And I was doing a demo with one of the executives, and the Reddit UI and like the entire Reddit experience for advertising looks like they're like a carbon copy of Facebook. Now I don't know how effective Reddit advertising is. We're gonna be running a pilot with them in Q1. Um, we work in the auto industry, but the I you know I we used Reddit in 2018, I think 2019, and it wasn't very good. At least like the UI for Reddit at the time wasn't very conducive to like good advertising. That was dirt cheap though, so that was like one of the main benefits. But I think that over the next 2 years, if Reddit can make it work, I think that it could make a very huge dent in the advertising space. I don't know if that would make it like challenging for Facebook and Google going forward, but if depending on the result and how well they can design their machine learning, I do think that Reddit could play a major factor in the advertising space, because I think Reddit's like the usage time is almost double what it is on Facebook right now.
But how do you have?
Yeah, but they're
how do you
gonna
expect
ruin it
Reddit
all
to
by pushing all these NFTs. No.
How do you expect Reddit to attract a Facebook level number of users?
Well, I think Reddit. I don't know if Reddit could do like 2 billion, but I think that uh, most of Facebook's revenue comes from Western Europe and North America, and I think Reddit has a pretty big market, a pretty big user base in those markets.
I believe Facebook has major presence in Korea, Brazil, India, which are major markets that Reddit does not overlap.
Yeah, that's true. What wasn't it like 80% though of Facebook's revenue that came from NA and Western Europe?
Yes, but that's only because the average the monthly user revenue is higher in those areas because there's more companies willing to spend.
Right. But I think the online advertising space is supposed to grow to like say 500 billion in the next 5 years or so. I think that was a statistic that I read. Even if Reddit could capture, I don't know, let's say 5 to 10 billion, that would put that would be like a significant enough increase. I think that it would take away from Facebook and Google. And I know Amazon is now at 30 billion, so they're putting up big numbers too.
Is Journalist still here?
No.
Nah.
I was
Penny
wondering,
kicked
Luce, I was wondering if the Grand Dragon gave him a new robe for Christmas.
KKK.
Oh, he's a good guy, right? That's why he's here, right?
Yeah, he's got to be a good
Yeah, no, I actually think he is brings a lot of knowledge. Sometimes if everyone wouldn't just try to ask him so many questions, unless you have like a question of substance to ask, he could probably bring a lot, to the table.
I asked
But
him a question of
obviously,
substance notes. He just
yeah,
said
no,
they
I
had
agree.
Market open.
No, I think with like Harvey, like as soon as when you ask the questions,
Okay.
All right.
I have an important question. Oh, I'm sorry, Opinion. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say we'll keep this rolling for another 30 minutes, and then we'll all head on over to Hardy's talk. It'll be the first time that we try out the notification in Discord. So if we could have a couple people try that out, that'd be helpful.
Yo, DRMA is going wild at open, guys.
It's hard to have a lot of knowledge and not have the emotional stability or the maturity of a 5-year-old and sound normal. So, yeah, journalists, good luck with your career at Ryanair. I hope you do well.
Yeah, I mean, he's like journalist is like sandpaper. It's great if you want to smooth out some wood or something like that, but it's terrible if you want to try to wipe your ass. It's
Well,
not
he's sandpaper, but he's like 400 grit, and that's the hard part.
Exactly.
A good sentence. You can't do that with the 400 grit that he has.
All right, let's not let him live too rent free in our heads. Mr. Fish, do you have something you wanted to say?
Oh,
or was it about?
I plan on sending him a bill, but I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, I wanted to know why you guys let this place become so monstrous while I was gone. What happened? What happened here? What did I miss?
Hey, you leave us unsupervised, dude. Things are gonna happen.
Unsupervised, like kids at the playground start touching each other's dicks and buttholes. Like, what's going on?
What the heck?
No, just you.
All right.
Hard,
Hey,
dude.
what's
That's
up,
hard.
Irvin?
That's pretty gay.
What's up, Luce?
There's nothing wrong with that.
$20 to trade is $20 to trade.
Yeah, I think we've definitely increased the number of plays. I think at least since before. So I think it's been getting better. Actually, there's some entertaining people though.
It's good to have shit talk back, and not everybody is smart. And hugs. I like that.
Mullen's pumping. MULN.
Oh, fucking Mullen, the fractal stock.
No, automotive EV infrastructure.
No, we're the OGs. You guys know what I'm talking about. Where's the guy that said Mullen was going to 200 because of
No, that was
fractal patterns?
Microvision.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Somebody-
Microvision was the fractal stock.
Oh, okay. You guys are so thirsty for gains, man. Like, what happened this year?
Everyone lost a bunch of money and they want to make it back in one night.
Yeah, but don't get in at the top of these freaking pump and dumps. Just do a little bit.
Holy shit,
Just
look
do
at
a little
Mullen
bit,
go.
okay?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Mullen made 5% while I was watching.
Yeah, you say that, and then you look at Kayla. I mean, you could have gotten in at 12 and gotten out at 20, and you're still missed out on.
Fuck, let me just go get my time machine.
You could have got in at 6 when.
Yeah, you either play it or you don't play it, but don't give people shit for like the way they choose to trade their money. Like,
I got it at 6.
What?
on
This
Kayla.
is Wall Street Bets. That's exactly what we do. What are you talking about?
When you win, we say F you. When you lose, we want you to post it.
Yeah, dude. I'm not like passionate about hating anybody for pumping and dumping stocks. Just saying, like, don't pump and dump all the stocks.
Up 50% isn't necessarily a great reason to buy a stock.
Actually, statistically, stocks that go up have a higher potential to continue to go up than stocks that don't. But think about it.
Mesa's up 4%. 4%, not 40%. 4%.
Yeah, Mesa, I'm just gonna hold a small amount of that one. It's, I would say it's mostly speculative. It's just price to book value is so damn low. It is, and you can compare it to its historical trading range, and it's like by far the lowest it's been. They did lose some business from giving up the American Airlines contract, but they got probably about half of that back from United. So at this point, complete speculation, but I think it'd be cool if United bought them out. And I don't see why not. Another interesting thing, if you go to Mesa Airlines website, the first thing they advertise, let me check, make sure it's still the case. The first thing they advertise, like on the front page, is their wages. It's like highest pay rate in the regional industry. I just find that interesting. I guess that's kind of telling as to what the big issue in the industry is. But Mesa's like, they're basically fighting for the pilots harder than most of the airlines.
Yo, I forgot your name because you changed your Loose.
Yo,
what is the last play that you entered? Because I feel like some of your plays are just such long plays. What was the actual last play that you entered?
Let me check. It was. Hey, give me a second. Oh, I sold guts on Tesla. That was the
What's
last
that
play I
mean?
did. It's the opposite of kind of the opposite of a strangle. So you sell in the money call and an in the money put, and it's a pure like extrinsic value play. It's very high risk, so don't do it if you're poor.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I don't
Yeah,
even know what it means. I wouldn't try to do that.
it's purely I want to squeeze out extrinsic value. I want to close before. I think I did it for January, so I want to close like within the next maybe by like mid-January, or actually probably by like January 10th, 12th, because as you get closer to expiration, the chance of being exercised goes to 100, and I don't want to be, or I'm sorry, being assigned goes to 100. So I don't want to be assigned. I just want to collect some extrinsic value. You can kind of see it as like scalping extrinsic value. That's one way to see it.
How do you scalp theta?
Time.
You wait
yeah.
a minute.
Yeah. You just sit back.
But you have to hope the stock doesn't move really in that
Right.
time frame.
No, it could still move. So, like for example, on Tesla, I sold the 100 call and the 125 put. So my break evens are, and I got a lot of premium for that. My break evens are 89 and 136. So it's had a big move up over the past couple of days, but I'm still I still have plenty of wiggle room. So as long as it stays within that range, I can make money. If it moves past, actually it continues moving higher, that's okay because I actually have long delta exposure to Tesla. So I actually have no risk to the upside. So it needs to move down from here. It needs to move down like $40 for me to start losing a good amount of money. Even then, it's not that big of a trade. I didn't have to make it that big because there's so much damn premium I got from it. So yeah, I should add that I do have long delta exposure to Tesla, so there's no upside risk for me.
When you have multiple contracts with different profit directions like that, I mean, are you worried about like wash sales at all, where if you're losing money on one contract and then you're making on another?
I'm not worried about wash sales. I think it's typically if you get into the stock, you get out and they get right back in. Right.
Right, but I was of the understanding that if you open a contract on a security and then you open another contract on the security, then if you were to sell one of the contracts at a loss and then try to realize a gain on the other, like the timelines would kind of overlap and you'd run into the 30-day restriction.
I think it's only for stock, right? Or like non-derivative securities,
No,
right?
it applies to options.
I'm not worried.
Cool.
Hey, Luz, what do you think Tesla's PE, like a fair value PE, should be at in the next, I don't know, 3 to 6 months?
Fair, I don't know, close to 80. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a
87.
big like price target guy.
Ooh. 20 minutes
So
ago
Luz,
to Hardy's Q&A.
should we be calling you damn son now, or?
I'll be back in a day or two. Something like that.
Don't leave us again.
No, you got some good guys here. You guys,
It's gone
I heard-
downhill.
Yeah, I heard there's a record 2 guys talking shit to me. So this we've gotten very diversified here.
You put him out there, Luz.
What's the other guy? Oh, there he is. Hey, John Wick. Yeah, you were talking shit to me. Welcome.
All right, spam John Wick.
Welcome.
Well,
I was just
yeah,
talking
good
shit because
guy.
I just wanted to listen to John listen what interesting things she might have said. You know, being fair to someone who's usually unfair. I know, but still.
Your accent is fake.
A dandy you are.
Okay.
Shh, let him be. He's having his tea and crumpets right now.
All right, it's good to see you again, Sad. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, Happy New Year, you filthy degenerate perverts. How y'all doing?
Kind of fine.
Man, I love those movies.
Good. Hella good,
All
DJ
right.
Rack.
I didn't hear any place, so I brought back journalist.
Is he really back? Oh, he is.
Is he going to talk about Saber this time? Or at least curse it loose?
He's a man of mystery, a man of muted
Yeah, let's
mystery.
hear it. Hey, Ryanair isn't a value play.
Yeah.
It's not
Who
even
flies
paying
Ryanair?
good value.
Hey, journalist, what's the revenue for Saber?
Tell the truth, Luce. You bought puts on Ryanair, didn't you?
Nah, I'm not that type, you know. I'm not the type to you know, bite the hand that fed you, you know. That's not me.
Luce is mad at Ryanair because they made him pay for 2 seats the last time he flew.
Yeah, because my my balls and shaft are so damn big.
No, they wanted to charge fat people more money because they were fat.
Well, the problem is everything's bigger in Texas, including the passengers, versus the svelte Europeans.
Louis, be honest. Are you fat or not?
I'm actually not fat, but I am black from the waist up and Asian from the waist down. Just to clarify.
Hey now.
So you don't do leg day.
Oh no, I do leg day.
You're bulking up. It's mass. You're building mass.
Yeah, I'm cultivating mass. That's right.
Cultivating mass, yeah.
Hey, so yes, just to give you kind of let's say a spoiler on Faber. You guys know that there is like a oligopoly in the world of a global distribution system. Basically, Saber is the shitty company that you guys have in the US. I'm going for the number 1 in the market. The third is basically in the hands of private equity. So this leaves you only 2 options. Either my bet, for which I will share the due diligence next week, or you just go and buy your fucking Saber and lose money.
Oh, you and your freaking clickbait crap. Just give us the dang company.
Nice.
Like, really? Nothing?
So Sabre is basically handling the ticketing for various airlines and some interconnects between hotels and resorts. I believe their competitors Amadeus. So is that the other one? Oh, I guess there's a third privately held one, which is irrelevant for this talk.
No, Amadeus. Yeah, you are right. Amadeus is it is listed in Spain. Okay, I know this company. So you will have to find out how you guys sitting in Wall Street can buy European stock, but I sitting here in Europe can buy.
in Wall Street.
Oh, you're not in London anymore. You're in Spain. It's a shame.
I'm in London. I'm in London now, but I mean I can buy European, Asian, US stocks, and I'm not in Wall Street, so I don't know.
Oh, that's weird. It's
Damn.
not like any of us can't participate in markets around the world because, you know, the US definitely is not the most connected financial industry on the fucking planet.
Well, you tell me because whenever I share a ticker,
you know what I'm going to tell you? Suck my dick. That's it.
Well, that's offensive.
Yes. Welcome to Wall Street.
Let him talk. Let him talk. I want to see.
Just because the ticker is different in the United States versus the London exchange or whatever European exchange you're talking about doesn't mean we can't trade it. It just means the ADR is different for us.
All right, let me first ask
Give us
Opinion,
the
who
fucking
is
company name, man.
Opinion. You are the moderator. Please kick out this kind of guys. You know, we don't need them here.
Nah, bro, we need to fucking kick you out.
You would be the first one to go.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I want to see what he says. Come on, let him talk.
So the purpose of why I shared today Ryanair is because I think you should be thinking like 12 to 18 months forward, okay? Instead of going on the hardy path, who is basically betting on the next 24 gamma and delta movement, okay? Because that's why you lose money, okay? So 2024 is going to be the best year for the airlines because it will not only recover the pre-pandemic, but it's